Hello everybody, this is Sir Squared here back with another predictions video, and this time it's going to be on the playoffs, and my predictions weren't really great for who's making it through. I got, I think 3 out of the 8 right. I got Exit right, I got Wolves right, and I've got Elevate right, and that is, oh no, and Phase. So I got 4 of them. That's not too bad. It's not too good. I could have done better. Uh, I did say I wanted G2 and Rogue to make it through, and they did prove me wrong and made it through. But now they're going to be versing each other. And one of them is going to get eliminated, but the other ones make it to the semifinals, which is exciting. One of the 2 teams I really like are making it through to the semifinals. I literally have a poster of them in my room. Although I am a TSM fan, I have a little poster for Fnatic, Rogue, Black Dragons, G2, Damwon. But I'm definitely a big TSM fan, and I also like the Knights over in APAC South. But let's talk a little bit about the groups before I go through my predictions. Group A, X at 15 points. They only lost to Rogue. Rogue, second place. They had a very important game at the end against NIP, and they won it. Uh, if they did not win the game, they would have had 8 points, and Ninjas in Pajamas would have had 9. So that last game was very important. Rogue won it, made it through. I'm excited to see Spoit in playoffs. NIP sadly didn't do too well, and Damwon really just didn't do great at all. I was hoping for more. They lost their first 3 games. Uh, there's always next time. They'll improve. You can see these stats if you want to see the individual games, or you can just go watch them in the VODs. Group B, G2 took first place somehow. I'm really surprised about this. They were second place most of the time, and luckily FaZe lost their last 2 games. They lost against Sonics 7-5, and then G2, the last game, 7-0 them for the top spot. Insane. Sonics, last place. Very sad to see Super's last game being a loss. Or well, his last game they did win. They won against FaZe Clan, and Super got a nice little double piece there at the end, but didn't make it the playoffs. Super's last game. It was nice. It was a really pleasure seeing you play, Super. You were amazing IGL, and I hope you come out of retirement at some point. Come back just like Canadian did. That'd be fun. But yeah, Sandbox Gaming, they did pretty good. They had 1 win, 1 overtime win, 1 overtime loss, and 3 losses. So not too bad, but obviously not as good as FaZe or G2. If you want to see individual games, here you go. Now this group, I was a little wrong. I guess I didn't really see W7M's full potential. They lost in overtime once. Besides that, steamrolled basically throughout the entire group. 16 points. That is insane. That is insane. But they are basically the best LATAM team. Maybe FaZe beat them and had a higher spot in the Copa Elite. But in the actual league in LATAM, W7M was number 1, I'm pretty sure. So, W7M, great team. Wolves, they're pretty insane. Only 1 regular win, but 3 overtime wins. That's really good. Oxygen, big shame. Another one of the NA teams falling. They only had 1 regular win, and they lost the Gaming Gladiators. They lost the Gaming Gladiators. That is not good. They lost the Gaming Gladiators in overtime, but that's not good. Even if they won that game, they would not have made it through, though, because they were not able to beat Wolves or W7M. Here's the individual game. Oh, yeah, Gaming Gladiators, let me just say, they lost in overtime against Wolves twice, and they beat Oxygen in overtime. Here's the individual games. Alright, last group. Group D. I was a little shocked that Strauss did this bad. Strauss had the least amount of points of any team in the tournament. Very sad to see. I was hoping they'd do better. They get second place in Charlotte, I'm pretty sure. And they only got 3 points. Kind of shameful, but there's always next tournament. And since they get second place, they still have a lot of SI points, and they've made it to this major. We'll be seeing them at SI most likely. M&M, 9 points. Pretty good. Almost caught up to Elevate, but Elevate qualified in the second day. So they basically had to beat Furia, who on the last day went crazy. And that didn't really look like that was going to happen, because 1v5 clutch first round theme park against M&M. That's all I have to say. Furia, like I just said, amazing last day. Got in front of Elevate. Elevate, horrible last day. I'm pretty sure they got like 7-1 one of their games. But they still made the playoffs. APAC team in playoffs, let's go. At least there's one. Here's the individual games. Now let's look here in the playoffs. Xset versus Wolves. That is an interesting game. Xset the only NA team left. Wolves the best, well, top APAC or top EU team in their league. And they were in like the group of death, basically group of death. I mean, Gaming Gladiators wasn't as good, and Oxygen really didn't show up too much, or just maybe if they were in a different group they would have done better. But in this group, W7M and Wolves were just really good. I will say Xset. I think Xset would be best in this scenario. They're NA team, basically LATAM team, because their coach is from LATAM. They're basically a LATAM team in disguise. So I'd say Xset. You know what? Oh, sorry, not the right thing. Here. I have a tier list here that I just made. You seen the group teams? Those are the group teams, and in order I have the teams here for the playoffs and like the matches. So I think Wolves will stay in top 8. Xset will advance. Now G2 versus Rogue. This is rough to call, but I think G2 is on a bit of a streak right now, and I think they're the super team. Although Kanto was really showing up this game or this tournament, I'd say he's been doing really well. Spoit's done pretty well. Last few games, I'd say maybe slow down a little bit, but they still made the playoffs, so good for them. Doki went insane. Citizen's always insane. Alamov shows up when he needs to. He's really good. Virtue's been showing up, and Prano, he's good. So if I had to pick one of the two teams, oh yeah, and Cryan, of course, you can't forget Cryan, man. He's Spoit's dad. But if I had to pick one of these two teams, I will have to say G2. Rogue, you make it to the playoffs with this like newer team. I'm really proud of you guys, and I hope you guys make it to SI to prove yourself some more, because you guys look like a great team. LA versus W7M. I'm just gonna do it. I'm not even really gonna. Well, I'm gonna explain, but I put them up there right away. I already know. An APAC team versus the, in my opinion, best LATAM team right now. That's kind of crazy. That's pretty insane to see. I know Elevate's aggressive and they have a great team. They won their first 4 games, but W7M won 5 of their games, and they were in the group of death. They're insane. Elevate, in my opinion, was in the weakest group. Not to say any group was weak, but I'd say the weakest group was Elevate's group, and Elevate struggled their last day. I don't know if they were saving strats or what, but they got against W7M. That is rough. W7M, I think, is going to move on. Let's go to FaZe versus Furia. I think FaZe are winning this. I think Furia was the weakest team coming into the tournament out of like all the LATAM teams. I just think NIP was in a stronger group, and that's why they got out. Rogue is really good. Damone's really good, but just I feel like didn't show up much this tournament, and haven't been doing super well recently. And NIP lost to them once, which really hurt them. And Furia did pretty good. But so did FaZe. FaZe got 12 points. Furia got, I think, 13. Although they had more, FaZe had a tougher group. And I think just FaZe is the better team. They've proved it throughout the season. And I think FaZe will move on. Okay, let's go to our semifinals. Xset versus G2. Now, this is going to be a pretty close match. I mean, I think Wolves could have made it through here, but I think the Xset Wolves game will be really close. I think most of these games will be close, except for the W7M Elevate game. I don't think that's going to be super close. And maybe not even the FaZe Furia. But Xset versus G2, I would love to see this. I think. Xset's basically a LATAM team. I think three of these teams are basically LATAM. Xset's technically NA. But this is a really tough call because both of these teams are really good. Spirit's been a little bit quiet this tournament, but he's good in general. Kino and Yaga, they're from the old Oxygen roster, and it's funny, they made it through the playoffs, and Oxygen did not. Then they have Gomez and Diaz, really good players. G2 have Alamau, which was from the old Team 1 roster that won a major. Then there's Doki and Citizen, amazing fraggers. Virtue, he's good overall. I think he's really good. Then Prano, he was a good IGL, and honestly, he's just a good player, very experienced. I think Prano's good, and both of these teams are really good. But I would probably have to go with Xset on this. I mean, whoops. Well, it's such a rough pick. G2 have really shown themselves. They've beat FaZe, and they beat Sandbox. They beat Sonics. All those teams being really good. But I think Xset's just a really good team. Xset only lost one game, and it was against Rogue. But G2 beat Rogue. I think this is horrible. I think I'm gonna put Xset up there. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna give NA some hope. Although it's sad to see G2 go, but I think Xset could be the runner-ups of this or the champions. We'll see. W7 versus FaZe. This is a rematch of the Copa Elite at the very end. This is gonna be really. I think this can go really close, but I think FaZe has more experience, and they did beat W7M in the head-to-head in Copa Elite and won it. I think it'll be close. I think it'll be probably like a 2-1, but I think FaZe are making it through here. Well, ooh, it's really hard to pick like the same team that won the major recently. Honestly, I changed my mind. I'm gonna give it to W7N. I don't want FaZe winning another tournament, just because I want a new team. I want W7M up here. I think it would be close. I think W7M's better, but I think when they go head to head, FaZe is normally better. But I'm just gonna go with I wouldn't say upset pick, but this is a more interesting pick in my opinion, and go with W7M. Now Xset versus W7M. I think this could be very close. I can't really name all of W7M's players, and I'll try naming as many as I can. So there's JV8 or 9-8 or something like that, or 7-8, something 7-6, whatever. There's Kais or K's. There's Volps. There's Herds. And then there's one more. I can't remember the last one. But I got four of them. I didn't JV98 or 92 or I think it's JV92. Oh, that's gonna annoy me. But they're both really good teams, and they both have a lot of potential. But I don't think this is Xset's tournament. I think W7M win this tournament. Obviously, there can be upsets like Liquid. Liquid was everyone thought they'd win the last tournament. They did not. They ended up getting kind of smoked by Dark Zero. And same with Invitational. Everyone thought they were gonna win it. TSM beat them, and then when they went in the lower bracket, they lost to I think it was MIBR. I think MIBR beat them. Yeah, I think MIBR beat them. And same thing could happen to W7M here. FaZe can beat them. Even Elevate can beat them. but I think W7M can win this one. Get their first win internationally. That's exciting to see. They went from underdogs last year, being close to relegation, one of the worst teams, to being. They just made like a couple role changes, or I think like 2 player changes or something like that. Like got two new players. Now their team is insane. So I'm really happy to see. I would be really happy to see Rogue win. I'd be happy to see G2 win, or exit because NA, and then honestly even the APAC team. I don't know if I want Wolves to win. I think Wolves is really aggressive, and that play style just annoys me sometimes. Furia, just an all-out average, or above average, obviously, but in majors, normally they don't make it through groups. They finally made it through groups, which is exciting for them. And fantasy is crazy. Fantasy is crazy. But I don't think I want Furia to win this tournament. Not saying I hate the team. Just I would like to see some of the other teams have a chance rather than just LATAM. But Elevate, it would be nice to see APAC team win it all, which is very unlikely. Uh, Rogue, I want to see Spoit could do good. I feel like it'd be weird Spoit just coming in and winning a championship right away. So I'd be happy if they didn't win. Just because it'd be like, oh, Spoit carried him. I don't want that to be how it is. G2 having them win would be awesome. FaZe win again would be a cool story, saying that they won 2 majors within 2 years, which is a really big accomplishment. Exit being underdogs, they got relegated, got a whole new team, come in as a new team and dominate, make him win a major. That'd be insane. That'd be like the Team 1 story a little bit. And then W7M, they're just insane. It would, honestly, I'll go W7M. W7M is my Berlin major prediction for who wins it. I want to put G2 up there, but I can't. I think W7M won. Well, it was nice nice making this video. I don't know if I'll make another video soon because it's gonna be a long time before the next championship. Maybe I'll do like an NAL rankings or something like that, or power rankings or predictions of the season. We'll see. But it was nice making this video. Make sure you guys subscribe. I only have a few, but it's still fun making these videos for whoever watches them and just for myself. So I don't know, just like, sub, comment, guys. Who do you guys think are gonna win? Do you agree with what I did here? Obviously, some people are gonna be putting FaZe or G2 above, or maybe Wolves. They're probably gonna put them higher. But I think I did pretty good good predictions here. Just comment if you guys agree. See you guys later. Love y'all, and peace.